in the mood.
Bloody waters, drowning every day.
Hey y'all, I am so excited for this look. Ywigs is helping me create this look today. I am going to be recreating like French curl braids, but we're going to be using human hair. Usually people, when they do French curl braids, they use synthetic hair, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try these with some human hair because I want this to last and I want to see how soft and gorgeous this hair is going to turn out without using synthetic fiber hair. So we're going to be using bulk human hair for this look today. This is how I separate it and get it prepped and ready to be able to just pick one out and start braiding. I'm going to leave it on the screen exactly the hair that I'm using today. Now that we have our human hair in between the towel, we're gonna go ahead and start off with blow drying this hair. For me, my hair was already kind of dry, so I just kind of brushed it out. After that, I went ahead and parted the front from the back just to separate this into some sections and get some organization going here. Now my hair is fairly short, so I'm definitely going to be able to do a bob look with my braids. Depending on how long your hair is will depend on how long you're going to be, you know, adding more hair. But for me, my hair is really short. I think it's probably like an inch or two. So I'm able to do like a bob hairstyle that's literally like kind of above my shoulders.
I'm not the 2 or 3, I'm San Antonio, Texas pit. I put myself on DMP.
Of course, we got to get that middle part together, and we have our first section that we are going to be working on. And this section right here is going to have about, I want to say I did 6 rows. Yeah. I was like, oh, I can do 5. No, I did 6 because I needed them to be small. So I feel like if you do 5, it's going to be like a medium size. But if you do like a 6 rows on each side of the middle part, it'll be a good like small size. So pay attention because you're going to need to. So right here, I'm going to be working on the second braid that I'm working with. Like I said, I have 6 rows. We're starting from the front. So I'm going to be putting that in 3s. Then after I do about a few little strokes, I'm going to add some human hair. So I'm adding that human hair in to the middle strand. Now I'm going to show you guys how I do this about 3 more times because I know it can be a little confusing. I'm going to do some slow-mo, so you have to watch the entire video so that you can see me basically explain and show you exactly how to do this because it's different ways and things you need to know. So you want to make sure that all 3 strands have some type of hair going to them. So I'm making sure that all 3 strands have some type of human hair added into them so they can all be even. And then I'm going to, of course, keep adding pieces of human hair to stick out of the braid. So you're essentially using your braiding hair, you're using your human hair as braiding hair because we are not using any braiding hair with this hairstyle. Now you can, but that would just cause a lot of snipping and all this and that. But for me, I just use all human hair for this hairstyle, only human hair for this hairstyle. So if you're doing the ends to seal, I personally like using nail glue because I know that it's sealed. I feel like when you just make a tie with human hair, it's so silky that it comes unraveled. So I like using nail glue to seal the ends to make sure that they are not going to come out. And as you can see, we have 2 braids here already done. Now the further I head up, the more hair we're gonna have sticking out. So for the first like 2 rows, I only did like 1 to 2 boho pieces sticking out, but the further up I get, we're gonna start adding at least like 5 to 6 pieces sticking out of each braid. So right here I'm working on the 3rd row from the bottom, and I'm already adding hair immediately because we're getting further up and we're gonna have to have boho pieces sticking out even more. So we're gonna make this like a full look. So we're adding it to the middle piece and then we're gonna keep braiding. Then again, I'm gonna add another boho piece and I'm gonna add it to the middle piece in between my pointer and my thumb. And I'm adding it to the middle piece and the side piece so that they can both have some hair. And as you can see, I have 1 strand that still doesn't have any human hair yet, which is the piece in the middle right there. So we're gonna add some more human hair to the middle and to the other strand on the left, and then we're going to keep braiding. And then we're going to add some pieces to stick out now that I have all 3 pieces evened out. So you just want to keep in mind that you want to keep putting a lot of boho pieces out, and you want to keep in mind that you want to have all 3 strands having some type of human hair to keep braiding down to the end, because the boho hair is being added to stick out of the braid, and it's also being added as braiding hair to add length to the braid. Hopefully that makes sense. I try to explain things as best I can, but there will be a few slow-mo so you guys can see. But right here we're getting to the end of a braid. So what I try to do is stick out maybe one of the straight pieces, just so that I can wrap it around. And for these straight pieces at the end, you don't have to keep them there after you add the nail glue to the bottom. You can just like cut it off after you seal the ends. But for me, I just kind of left it just because they weren't really that noticeable, and it's all human hair, so you can just brush it in and blend it together. So this is what I did. I took a skinny small piece of human hair, added nail glue, and then wrapped it around the end, and then held it there for a second just so that it would be stiff and sealed, and I'm able to play with it and brush my hair without anything unraveling or slipping. So for the first row, we have 2 braids. For the second row, I think I did 3 braids. For the third row, I did another 3 braids. For this row, I think it's going to be another 3 braids. For the fifth row, it's going to be 4 braids. And for the 6th row, it's going to be another 4 braids.
Don't tell me what they say about me.
So as you're parting, also keep in mind when you're parting, you want your braid above to go in between the braids below. So if I lift this up and I put it down, you can see that it's going in between the braids below. That is very important. We'll just ensure that your braids are not looking spacey when they're all done. You don't want your braids to be on top of each other when you finish. So we're going to be working on a front piece so you guys can get a different angle of how I'm doing this. I added gel to the entire piece of hair. Well, to the entire, like all of my hair. Put it in 3s and then immediately started adding hair right before I did like my first stroke. Since this braid is up at the front, I want to make sure that it has as many pieces as possible, because the higher up you get with your braids, the more you want to have like a lot of boho hair like up at the top. So
Shit ain't what it used to be, but it's what it's gonna be. Always keep it P, but y'all don't see the TS and the D. Please, don't tell me what they say about me. Especially if your kid.
now we're working on our third piece. This one is going to be used to braid and add some length. And the first 2 were just added to stick out of the braid. So far we have 3 pieces of human hair added to this braid. We're going to go in again. This is going to be our 4th piece that we're using for the entire braid, but it is our 3rd one sticking out of the braid. Now it's time to go in with our 5th piece. This one is just being added for length. We're going to go in with our 6th piece, and this one is going to be sticking out of the braid. We have about 4 pieces sticking out of the braid for this one.
I cracked the code. I'm in the mode. When the brakes send them off the seaside.
It's looking super full, so I'm happy about that. And I was just giving it a little look-see, and I was like, you know what? This is actually coming out pretty beautiful. Like, it just was gorgeous. I've always wanted to try French curl braid like in a bob, so this was definitely it. Now we're going to be working with the other side. Now the reason I started on the front of my hair, aside from starting from the back, is I just knew I was going to have more energy when I first started. So I was like, you know what, let's just start on the front and give it all we got. And then the back, we're going to tend to her after we've taken a break and stuff, you know? So that's why I started with the front. But here is a slow-mo of me braiding my hair, doing a plait. And then as soon as I did like 2 strokes, I went ahead and added some human hair. And of course, I'm adding that human hair to the middle piece. I know my fingers look a little crazy, but I'm adding it to the middle strand of the plait. I always add to the middle strand of the plait, and I keep on braiding after that. And I know it's like a lot of pieces to like pay attention to, but you just have to feel for it. Once you have braided enough, you'll start to get the hang of it.
So easily, shit ain't what it used to be, but it's what it's gonna be. Always keep it P, but y'all don't see the TS and the D. Please, don't tell me what they say about me. Especially if your kitchen's not clean. All these opinions either sweet or salty. So paying attention to everything get costly. Oh, it's probably glad. Don't tell me what they say about me. Fuck. Everyone got eat. Bro. If I could put my feelings on silent.
So this is the front basically all the way done, and I've used about almost all of the first bundle, and I was given 3 bundles. So I've used the first bundle already, and now we're gonna go in and pre-part the back, so that way when we want to get started with just braiding, we can just go ahead and braid. I definitely recommend pre-parting the back, or just pre-parting in general, so that you could just feel like it's just less of a hassle, because parting and braiding and parting and braiding and parting and braiding, it's just easier if you just go ahead, part everything out, and then undo it when you're ready to braid. We all know doing the back of the head is a little difficult, so I always use my 3-way mirror to help me see the back of my head. I basically use the left mirror on the left side to see through that mirror to see the back of my head through the right mirror. Hope that makes sense. If you have a 3-way mirror, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now below my ear, I'm going to have about 3 rows of braids, and above that ear, I'm going to have about 6 rows, which is going to basically be like a connection to the braids in the front. And girl, this French curl was a journey, so if you've made it this far in the journey, make sure you are subscribed to my channel, because I have a whole bunch of videos just like this. I've been doing this for 7 years. Oh, I think it's going on 8 now that it's 2025. So make sure that you're subscribed, because I know the amount of viewers I have does not match the amount of subscribers I have. So girl, just go ahead and subscribe, because you're gonna need me, and I say this every time. So yeah, welcome to the family, and we'll definitely be seeing you around, because you're gonna subscribe.
If I could put my feelings on silent. If I could put my feelings on silent. Yeah. Call me sensitive. I just think they insecure. I show my feelings so they feel me. They ain't feeling yours. Lord, and I'm sure that hurts. I can never sell my soul, and yours a clearance purse. See, I'm on some protective shit. I'm on some never call my phone, you barely can text me shit. See, y'all be on that forgetful shit. I'm not the 2 or 3, I'm San Antonio, Texas.
Now, when it came to that first row in the back, I didn't really leave out boho pieces for real, because it's the nape of my neck, and I just didn't feel like it was that necessary. So for the first 2 rows, there wasn't really like boho pieces sticking out. There might have been like 1 piece on each braid in the second row, but I just didn't feel the need to leave out a lot of boho pieces. I was more worried about the top of my hair, because that is where the focus really is anyway, when it's just a whole bunch of boho hair, and I want to make sure I'm able to take care of it.
If I could put my feelings on silent. feelings on silent.
Okay, so now that y'all seen, I done the front and I done 2 rows in the back, and we're using our second bundle now. And it's so full. Like, the bundles from Ywigs always come so full. We have 2 rows left, y'all. The journey has been long, but we are almost done, y'all.
I'm in the mode of the Louis, y'all don't move like me.
Since I'm finishing off with the 2 rows left at the top, I made sure to like add about I want to say about 6 boho pieces sticking out of each braid, just because it's up at the top and in the back, and I want to make sure everything is nice and full. Since the front was looking nice and full, I want to make sure the back is nice and full as well. So the higher up you get, I will say I added about 1 to 2 pieces on the first 2 rows. On the 3rd row, I probably added like 1 to 2 pieces. Then once I started getting up top, like to the rows that were like connecting to the front, so like the 4th, 5th, 6th, you know, all those rows, I started to just put more and more. And this last row, I went ahead and put like 6 boho pieces, as you can see on the braid, to ensure that it was full. I thought it was 5, and then I was like, no girl, it's actually 6. So since we're all done, it's time to do the edges. I didn't want a lot of edges out this time. I just wanted it to be like just very light. I didn't want too much edges out, just because I really just wanted to look very soft, and I didn't want it to be too much hair out, because once it's out, it's out. So let's just start off with minimal edges for now. And I used the gummy wax in the red jar, just because the orange one and I think the green one, they don't really work as well, but the red jar is pretty good, so I really like it. But I usually use Got to Be gel. This is how the hair is looking from the front with a middle part. Now I did brush this out just to make sure that it was nice and fluffy and blended and everything else, but I wanted mine to be a true bob. So I went ahead and definitely cut it bluntly so that we could get that bob look going. So after this, I'm gonna cut it and you guys will see how it came out. Now, while you're cutting this, make sure that you're not cutting any braids. You want to feel to make sure there's no lumps in there that you're about to cut, because once you cut that braid, it's going to be loose, girl. But look at the flip. Look at the hair, y'all. Look at the material. Super soft and bouncy. And I loved brushing this hair. It's super soft, and the curl on this, it's just perfect to mimic like the French curl braids. Oh my gosh, I was in love. This is human hair. You definitely want to make sure that you brush it and take care of it. I wear a bonnet every night just to ensure that the curls are nice and intact. And I just brush it every now and then, just because I want to make sure that the curls don't get matted or tangled. You want to make sure that you take care of human hair as if it's human hair, almost like a wig. So if you had a curly wig before, or any type of wig, you know, you don't just go to sleep and wake up and just go. No, you have to make sure you maintain it and take care of it so that the hair looks extra cute and juicy. You don't want the curls to look matted and a rat's nest. We don't want that. So if you made it this far in the video, please make sure you give this a thumbs up. Thank you so much to Ywig for sending me this hair. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, faves.
If I could put my feelings on